you gon' catch a brick to your face, brick to your face, brick to your face, you gon' go to your face, brick to your face, brick to your face, you gon' catch a brick to your face, brick to your face, brick to your face, you gon' go to your face. Got a shot of Lisa J, got a shot of Noah James, that's my family playing no games every night.
Welcome to A Brick to Your Face with who?
Lisa.
And I am Noah. We are back with our 4th episode. The last episode was very, very majestic. It was heavy.
Yes.
It was uplifting. And it was great to just get some of these stories out and the experiences out. Mm-hmm. Now we're back with episode 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And we're going to talk about mental health issues for creatives.
Yes.
Breaking generation cycles or curses, but we're going to break down curse, why we shouldn't use curse. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about how parents are humans.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all realized that either through our own experiences, or maybe watching some TikToks, watching some people's social media and seeing that person's mom is kind of just regular.
So mental health for our creatives.
Yes. We know a lot of people are going through it. Mm-hmm. We can't throw shows. Mm-hmm. We can't perform. We're definitely not doing pretty much anything that we used to. We're doing gathering with friends, gathering with other creatives, like all that stuff. And it could look like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. But we have to keep just that little flame in ourselves to keep lighting that tunnel, if anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I say it's time to tap into new resources, create new resources, new streams, new channels. It's time to get on your website, get your BMI or ASCAP up.
Do the stuff that you've been wanting to do. Like you said, if you've been meaning to get on your website, then get on. Like, obviously, best time to do it is now. Making sure you have your BMI, your ASCAP, all that paperwork or everything all squared away. Even now, really, like, people would say, I wish I had more time to work on music. Yeah. And, hey.
This is a perfect time, y'all. Like, this is a time to write down the new goals, the new list, and knowing like nothing's not going back to normal. So now you can really concentrate, because it took me May. Mm-hmm. In May, I was like, damn, it's really not going to go back to normal until maybe spring next year. Yeah. Maybe spring 2021.
Yeah, who knows? Because it's like, what we do as creatives and entrepreneurs, our whole job is to have gatherings. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whether it be you performing and we need people to come to your show, or we throwing the show or whatnot. So it's like, that's so up in the air, like the gatherings. That's like the highest risk is if you go to a party or if you have a gathering. So it's like, who knows when will come back, but you just have to, like I say, be creative with your creativity. Yeah. You try something different. We've been doing the Twitch, those live shows. Yeah. Obviously, it's not the same, but it's still something.
It's still something, doing an IG live performance. Mm-hmm. Like what I did in this time, because it was driving me crazy, because at this time, I'm trying to become a more established career musician, but a touring artist.
Yeah. You wanted to be a touring artist. You like to perform.
Yeah. Ooh,
like,
man.
You know what I mean? So we like how you say, you have to enjoy the process. So you made music and learn to enjoy that process, so that we can perform and you can book shows and book tours. So it's kind of like, we focused on this, and then now we can't even do any of it.
And to help me with my mental health, because I was getting depressed, I was getting all of it, I started writing down new goals. Yeah. I started writing down all the unfinished songs I didn't, that's not done. Yeah. I started organizing my Google Sheets even more.
Mm-hmm. But I do know some people are having like writer's block. Yeah. Or like even things like that, where it's like they can't tap into their creativity. Like, what did you do to? Because I know you didn't feel like writing. You had verses that you needed to write, and like you didn't feel like it. You know what I mean? Because obviously, even the verse you did write, it was talking about on the subject matter, because that's what is gonna happen. You know. But like, what would you tell people? Like, how did you?
Shoot, you know, I start indulging in leisure time. Enjoying time, like, you know, playing 2K with Jordan, and that's cool, and them
everybody,
all the homies we on 2K, or playing Red Dead, or listening to more music, like doing the music video countdown actually helped me dig for more new music. I found Soleil. Legendary Soleil, and she out here making conscious music. So I had to, for me, because I'm a career musician, I have to live a normal life to get back into my creativity.
I feel it, but it was just like when we would go to Disneyland, or we would go do like quote unquote normal things. You know what I mean? You would be inspired, or you would come back and write, and
I wrote at Disneyland. I had to do that. Even the Zoom meetings, or I started taking advantage of those, like going into chats, going to people IG live.
Because definitely I've learned, like with the Zoom meetings, you're definitely meeting new people. Like people you probably wouldn't meet. You know what I mean? And it's really going into, it's a friend of a friend. And that's just all it ends up being. And then you end up meeting new people that have different perspectives. Even like the lives too. Everybody's been on live, so might as well. That's how I kind of use the lives and things, like, oh, let me go to this event, and let me go to this person's event, and then you could pop in and out, you know, leave comments or whatever, and then you get to see them differently too.
Tap in with new people. Tap in with new creators.
Reach out to people you've been wanting to. Or
reach
thinking.
out a lot. Like, even if you might I gotten some stuff because let me just try, and I got it. Like, that's been one thing I done too to help me out. Like, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing a lot of stuff I would do when it was normal, but now it's just amplified way more. You know, I might DM 2 or 3 people back in last year, but now it's like 10 people.
Because too, when we're at events, sometimes you talk to one person the whole night, because you guys end up in a conversation or whatever, you know what I mean? So with social media, I definitely feel like, we can't go to events and stuff, but now you could reach out to people you've been wanting to reach out to, wanting to just communicate with, and not even to work with, just like you just are interested, or you know, you're on their story and they do something that you're interested in, or you've seen, or you could relate to, and it's like more of connecting with them on that level.
And you get to build with people on many levels. That's for me, that helped me in my mental health as a creative. Like lately, that's all it been, just building with people, creating tasks for myself, creating new routines for myself. New knowledge, even for what's going on right now. Even, you know, I see more people investing in stocks and bonds and stuff like that. So people are getting more knowledge onto that. So it's like, really right now is to be, as a creative, you could create as much music as you want, but right now it's to be a sponge to other things.
That'll only help your creativity.
Yes, that's all it's going to do.
It'll give you more to write about. It'll give you more places to pull inspiration from, like all that stuff. Feel,
cry, do all that, but be a sponge of everything that's going on that's positive and productive. You know, even have a conversation with other people on the other side of your viewpoint.
You know? But make sure it's a conversation,
not a debate or
some
argument.
Some people that just want to argue and they just want to debate. So make sure it's a conversation.
Stay away from that, artists. Even normal people, stay away from crazy debates and arguments online.
There's no need.
And
I understand, like, how one thing is, like, you know, we have to talk to these people, or have these uncomfortable conversations with family or things like that. But it's like, that's what it is. It's an uncomfortable conversation, not an argument. So make sure that you're not getting caught in that trap of an argument. You know what I mean? Instead of just like people trying to have an open mind and to talk.
Yeah.
Because then it's no point. You're just two fools.
But right now it's all about readjusting. Mm-hmm. You know, readjust everything that you're doing.
And then too, it's the states open and then we're closed. Yeah. So it's like readjusting and then going back and then readjusting and going back.
I'm not even I'm not even trying to go back as a creative. And you know, our normal is shows, merchandise, release parties, networking.
Yeah,
you know?
networking.
Like networking is way better. Networking to me is better in person.
Oh yeah.
You know, I got my biggest opportunities in person than online. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff now to where you got to find out how to make your personality come across the internet.
But I feel like, you know, with that too, the lives are being a whole new thing that's being utilized. You know what I mean? You're doing your 5 on Love. We do the music video countdown. So it's like you're going to have to utilize that stuff. And like, yeah, it seems like everybody's on live and this and that. But like, you be creative with your creativity. What is going to make you stand out? You know what I mean? And then, because like you said, if you're networking in person, you could show your personality. Yeah. Like people will get you. Yeah. But obviously like through texting or DMs or just on the internet, it's not going to come out the same. So you're going to have to utilize whether it be YouTube or live streams or something to get your personality out too.
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
It's all adjusting. Yeah. But just keep trying to adjust. Yeah. Keep trying to do something. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be like, it's always gonna be a battle. Like, because you're gonna feel good with these laid out plans, and then one day you might be like, these plans are dumb. But then it's like, wait, you laid out the plan, so just keep with it. You know what I mean? Like, commit to it. Like right now, you could commit to things because you know what I mean. You have some time to commit to it. Like we've committed to working out, to this one workout. Yeah. You know what I mean? Cardio workout for 45 days. So whenever we work out, that's what we're gonna do. You know. But it's like you have to make decisions and commit to it, and this is the perfect time to do all that.
Yeah, there's no room for being decisive.
Yeah, not right now. Yeah, because the state can't even decide if we're gonna open or close. If people can't decide if they should wear a mask and shouldn't wear a mask and all these other things, you know what I mean? And then it's so uncertain for us creatives, entrepreneurs, small businesses, all of that.
Making swift decisions for yourself right now will protect your mental health.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
Just make the decision, commit to it, and you could change it.
Yeah, you can.
That's it. Like, you could change it. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to commit.
You have to commit right now. Because that's what it is right now, artists, like creators, entrepreneurs. It's not the same. Even if you got a brick and mortar and you got a storefront, it's not the same. And I just want a lot of artists to protect their peace.
Yeah.
And they mental right now. Like I said, write down new goals, write down new routines, build with new people, create new music, finish your unfinished music,
and release it.
Release it.
Best time to release is we not doing nothing.
Yes.
So release that music, because even the major labels aren't really releasing music because they're not gonna get what they fully get as in performances, all that stuff too. But as an independent artist, release that music. This is the time to build those ears. Yeah. Because people are gonna be listening. They want new things. They want new stuff. You know what I mean? And you could give them new stuff.
Yes. Educate yourself right now. Educate yourself on what's going on in the world right now. Educate yourself on the music business right now. You know, go follow like United Masters, where they have a conferences for artists. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff we can do just to make sure that our mental is in check for when the world opens back up. When the world opens back up, we have to be better.
Yes.
There's no way to go when the world open back up. You're still in the same place mentally.
Yeah. You know, things, like I've said, things are different. So you have to do things differently. Yeah. There's no going back to normal. And like, I know some people, like, all this stuff doesn't affect them. Like either COVID, they're still working, or like even the racial injustice stuff. Like they just still go along with their life, and it's like. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, the people that it does affect, we have to make sure that we're educating ourselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? And keeping ourselves busy so that we can fight this long fight. Yeah. You know, and like I said, make the decision, but you could also change the decision. That's perfectly fine. It's like, everything's so uncertain. Why are you gonna be the one thing that is certain? You know what I mean? Like, why would you be like, oh well, I laid out these plans and then they're perfect, and I'm gonna stick to these plans and that's it? Nah, it's not gonna work change. Like that.
And if you don't find out not to go with the change, but find your way to
go with the flow.
Yeah, like even with me, like we had to cancel like 3 tours.
Yeah.
And our flow wasn't. We didn't even go with, because some people flow was like still going. We were like, oh, we're not even gonna stop. We're just gonna redirect and do something else and cancel this early.
Yeah.
And what I did, y'all, was I paid attention to other creatives that this time isn't even bothering them, because there's so much of an introvert.
Yeah, I know that too. There's like you say, creatives that are like, they're like, I've been quarantined. I've been in the studio 24/7.
If we're not at shows or we're not on tour or something like that, we're quarantined. Yeah. We're in the house. Probably we could be in the house for 2 weeks and don't even leave that bitch for a while, because we're getting stuff ready, done. And
it's really like, now it's, instead of us being at home and preparing for tours or shows or trying to get shows, it's like, what is the new thing? What is the new goal? Yeah. What is the new routine? What is the new schedule? You know what I mean? Like, now what? It's like, now we have to promote more merch, because now we can't be at shows selling merch. So, and then that too was like, we've always known we needed to promote more on online, you know what I mean, for the merch. But then it's like I said, this is the best time because it's all going to that. Like, everybody's getting more familiar or used to buying online, doing those things. So it's like, what can we still do? You know what I mean, with the cards that we're dealt. We have internet, so we could try using the internet more, obviously, and we've been doing that. But it's like, you just gotta adjust.
Tap in with your community.
Definitely that too, especially if you want to make a change.
Yeah.
If you want to make a change, obviously a lot needs to be changed, but we could start within our community first. I see it as, if we take care of our county, our city, and everybody else takes care of their county and their city, then all the cities should be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And your surrounding cities, type of thing. But it's like, tap into your community, your like-minded people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And not even just for creatives. It's just so that you might share information about meditation, or share information about just the basic information.
And this is helping the creatives, to me, like me tapping into our community and coming across life coaches and meditation coaches and breathing
financial
coaches.
Advisors.
It's like involving yourself with people that's helping others, and you helping them is going to help yourself mentally, financially, spiritually.
Yeah.
So now the time, if you don't know your community and you're an entrepreneur and you're creative and you out here, even a regular person going to school, tap in with like-minded people in your community. And this will help you with some of your mental health. It will give you more purpose. It will give you knowledge you've been seeking, especially if you're black and you're brown, you're minority, and you're going through these times right now, and you feel hurt, you feel angry, you feel frustrated, you feel overwhelmed. These communities been like a watering hole for positivity and forward motion.
Yeah.
Like, every time we talk or build, there's always a movement of going forward. Or new knowledge,
definitely new knowledge.
Like, make me want to go home and research stuff, understanding, city bonds and city, like, you can buy bonds from the city. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. More knowledge.
Yeah, and it's just like you said, tapping into community leaders or people that are within the community that are knowledgeable. Because with we would just be at shows and like you're talking amongst at the shows and like little things or whatever, but then it still stays on the topic of like shows and music. You know what I mean? But now it's like, tap into that person you've been, or that person on your Facebook that does like financial advising or does something else, that does mental health or something, like, and just tap in with them and see
credit fixing.
All that stuff to really get yourself prepared for when everything goes back to, or everything's open back up.
When the world opens back up and we're ready. That's what we doing, artists. We want to just get your mind. Hopefully what we're talking about, helps you out if you're going through something right now, because we went through it and our minds was going everywhere, and we have to just focus on certain things in our life, from health, financial, how to invest, how to create a side hustle, now working 5 days a week, working on our family, even like let's go back now, let's go to it now, like learning how to break generation cycles and curses, and curse, we don't like using the word curse because it's just, the curse is the people.
Yeah, obviously curse is like negative.
Yeah, it's negative. Curse is us calling it the curse and falling into the mental trap of it's a curse. This is bad.
And accepting it.
Yes.
Like you're accepting that it's a curse and that it's gonna happen, and like there's nothing that you can stop, because technically that's what a curse is. Like somebody puts a curse on you and you have to most likely kill yourself or whatever. Something has to die for that's what we see in movies or TV shows. Something has to die because
to lift the curse.
Because you're being cursed because that's alive.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So that's why it's like the generational curses. It's not that serious. It's not that. It's just a cycle that we need to break.
Yeah. It can be broken.
Yeah.
From just
any
from
cycle
within.
can be broken.
And even on this journey for my family, it been trying to see about them changing their diet up. I've been changing mine up. We already don't drink milk for years.
Yeah.
But now we really took dairy out of our diet for years, and trying to get my family to do that.
But too, it's like we are technically breaking these cycles, but we learn like we want something better for ourselves.
Yeah.
We know we shouldn't be eating these things. We know we should be doing these things.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. Just because our family never did it, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean like, oh, we can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, better, so you do better.
Yeah.
And that's the cycle that you're breaking. And then obviously with everything going on, I'm sure you're seeing your parents' point of views, aunts and uncles and cousins, all your family's point of views. And some you agree with, some you don't.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But like how we said earlier, it was like you gotta. It's a time to have a conversation with them, but make sure it's a conversation.
Yeah.
You're an adult. Doesn't matter how old you are. You know what I mean? But also you have your own mind.
Yeah.
You have your own mind, your own opinion, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's a cycle that I think we all kind of have within all cultures of like the older people don't really listen to the younger people, or they don't trust in the younger people and things like that. And then also like being a creative, like they probably think you're not doing anything. You're just going to shows or whatever. But it's like this is me.
Yes.
And accept me. I'm supposed to accept you. You know what I mean? What, just because you're older than me, I'm supposed to just accept you and everything that you say and do, but give me that same respect too. And I feel like it's a good time to open that conversation up.
Open that window, them doors open right now.
Because too, everything that everybody's fighting for, it's gonna affect us.
Yeah.
Like some of them might be tired of it. Some of them might not even be aware of the oppression. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it, depending on your generation. I'm a first generation, so like my parents, I'm not even sure if they understand like the oppression of Black people and like all these things. You know what I mean? So it's like it's real. You gotta kind of just kind of see their perspective.
Yeah.
And even though you wish they could just see your perspective, or they could like just agree with you, or see or be open minded to you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to be the mature one and be more open-minded than anything.
I think that's how it started in my family. Like I have to become the one that listens, take it in, don't be emotional, be rational, hit them with facts, logic, like have to tell them their story. Like you remind them, especially family that's in their 70s. And I like, was you called the N-word? you wasn't able to sit in the front, like they be like, yeah, and I just look at them, and it comes back, because they tend to want to forget it.
Yeah, it's traumatic.
Yeah, and I try to let them know, like, it's okay to fight the fight now. It's okay. Like, I know you tired. Even like, I know you tired and you don't want to fight it. Cool, but don't stop.
Yeah.
Our generation from fighting.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Don't try to hinder them or give them information to break down their confidence in what they believe in. And that's what my family. It took me to get some type of success and a little bit of. They see me go through therapy. They see me become better, so they start listening.
Yeah.
So it with my family is a little different. It just took a little bit of.
Well, I feel like they even to this day, they now see you as an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're 35, but now it's like, oh, he knows a little something.
Yeah.
Which is like, like, it's, I've been on my life journey, so I should come back and know a little something. You know what I mean? But it's on us to have that patience with them and to have open the communication and not make sure it's not an argument and things like that. And like you said, make them realize, like, it's the same thing. Yeah. It's just it's a different generation. That's really it. You know what I mean? But it's like, I understand your feelings. I had those feelings too, but I've learned to like change it, or I learned to like break the cycle so that I don't continue to have excuses and play a victim or play you know what I mean? I'm trying to find answers. Yep. You know what I mean?
I learned how to talk to them where they don't feel attacked. That's one thing. That's
definitely,
That's been the biggest thing, like, for my granny, my mama, everyone. Like, let me talk to you in a way where you don't feel too attacked. Where I'm like, when I feel attacked, sometimes it might be, I know the outcome might be great. When I'm exercising, I feel like I'm being attacked.
No, yeah.
I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Like someone beating me up.
So I don't talk when I'm exercising because I feel like I'm being attacked.
I'm loud. Someone's attacking me. So like,
but I feel like too, it's because they're older and you're younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
I want to hear it.
Like, you don't know anything. You're not gonna tell me, like, and that's not just your family, but that's just like adult. Like,
we seen on TikTok a little girl told you can't save the world.
Yeah, you think anything's gonna change? It's like, like, why don't you encourage me? Like, you know what? Whatever you try to do, you can make some type of change.
Something.
Because at the end of the day, it's the America is very mixed. Yeah. So it didn't stay how they wanted it to stay. Yeah. Things changed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, things have changed, but obviously we want more, and we're trying to hold America accountable. That's it.
Like, with these generation cycles from financial, spiritual to mental, like, it been a journey for me and my family to even, my brother just got into therapy. Yeah. And his therapy going to provide family and group therapy. You know what I mean? Now, my mama was like, him getting into it and how he only went one day.
And it changed. There was a change.
There was a change. Yeah. Now she's looking at it. Then she's looking at me, was like, you changed a lot too. It just, with me, my change became more of, once I got it, I went back home and started telling them, and sometimes they would feel like I feel like I'm better than them.
No, yeah.
And I'm like, nah, nowhere near it.
They feel attacked.
Yeah, I'm like, nowhere near it. Yeah. I just want you to feel better. I feel better.
Because it's kind of like you have the answer. Not the answer, but like you have an answer. Like, you know what I mean? And a lot of times when people, we don't want to face it. We don't want to face that we need therapy or we have issues. You know what I mean? You faced it and you're coming back with answers. And then it's like, but, you went through a whole process to get the answer. So you just coming back and telling, you're coming back and telling, your family advice or telling people advice, and they feel attacked because you just telling me that one thing isn't going to help me. Yeah. Because they themselves need to go through the process. But instead of feeling attacked, you know what I mean? Which your family might feel attacked when you're coming to talk to them. It's like, no, I'm just talking to you. We're just having a conversation. I'm just telling you what I learned. You know what I mean? I did go through a process, but this is what at the end of the process, this is what I learned. You know
my
I mean?
family, they love yelling.
Yeah.
Like y'all understand, I'm the biggest and I am the loudest. But when they start yelling, I just stay quiet. Every once in a while, I would engage in their yelling just to quiet them down.
Yeah.
Just like, yo, y'all
to remind them.
Remind them I am the loudest in this family.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, let's talk. I know we go through, even your family, if you're creative and you're an entrepreneur and your family works 9 to 5, they're not going to understand that.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to understand you staying up late, being out, gathering with people, this and that, and it's not a structured 9 to 5. Like, and honestly, why would they understand it? Like, think about it. You know what I mean? Like, think about you being a creative and like everything's very just like what your decision is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You decided to do music, or you decide to do art, you decide to throw shows, you decide to do whatever. And two, if you want to have an art show, you have to do the art and organize a show. You got to do all these things. And you don't just go to a job and clock in from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So they're not going to understand. And that's okay that they don't understand.
Yeah.
But like we've said earlier, is just making sure that they don't try to hinder you and stop you from doing what you want to do. And if it's going to be hard for them to understand, but it's on you to either pick that battle to try to open up that communication with them and tell them, like, that company that they work for, most likely the owner or whoever created it was a creative.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So even if you got to start off with that, where it's like, the person, that meme or that saying,
hey y'all, Lisa is,
you either gonna work hard for your dreams or work hard for somebody else's dreams.
You got to talk to your family language. That's what I learned. I learned how to talk in my family's language.
Yeah.
Where my grandma was, when she first tried to say something, then I broke down what she did for a living.
Yeah.
And she go, okay.
She had a nail salon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moonshine.
She was an entrepreneur.
Granny was an entrepreneur. My grandmother, only real job she had was a nurse. And after that.
But too, like how she was an entrepreneur, but like as a nail salon, it's more traditional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like whatever, it's more traditional, even though that is still an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even now we see ladies that are doing nails from their home or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's a hustle now, to where it's like, it's a more traditional job, but you're still an entrepreneur.
You're still an entrepreneur.
So it's, even if your family owns a restaurant, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's people who have their family owns a restaurant, and it's like, it's the same thing, because that your family member has to get the supplies, make sure the menu's right, make sure they have enough supplies, make sure that it's not spoiled, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And even though having a restaurant is more traditional because people have them, that's still an entrepreneur creative thing. Because you also see that people who are creative, who start restaurants, their restaurants are very creative. You want to go and take your IG pictures, you want to go and do this
Shout
and that.
Shout out to Andy, man.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Andy owned I Am King, and from I Am King he started owning restaurants. He owned a clothing line and went to restaurants. So it's like creative in business. You got to be
creative with your creativity. It's branding, marketing, and that could go for an artist. It could go for food. It could go for trays. It could go for anything.
And you just got to talk to your family in that language. Like, listen, Dad, like, I'm an artist. I have merchandise. I have product. I got to sell this product. You work 9 to 5. I work 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do this every day. It's not, if you're a kid just in your room, I'm not a kid just in my room.
Yeah.
I'm doing stuff.
I'm making moves. I'm making decisions. I'm using my mind. You know what I mean? It's pretty much this. You have to set it up for yourself to have a quote unquote 9 to 5.
Yes.
Your parents, whatever, somebody created that 9 to 5 for them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the only difference.
Yes.
Is I'm creating my 9 to 5. I'm trying to create, this steady income, this stream or whatever, or this fan base, so that I can just be like, I'm gonna just work from this time to this time.
Yes.
because I've built it up, you know what I mean? And I just need to drop my music. I just need to sit from this time to this time, Monday through Friday, to make sure that I have my releases organized, from merch to music to whatever. I have, my interviews lined up. I have these things lined up, and it could end up being that way.
I tell you, y'all, these conversation helps. These conversation make your family understand, pay attention to what you're doing. Then they start listening to you a little bit more. Like, my family is now not about to stop drinking milk already. When I got diabetes, I already started taking sugar out their diet. You know what I mean? It's like these little cycles that we can break. We can break it through conversation and understanding of both ends.
And then too, just leading by example.
I'm prove yourself to me, proving myself to myself, prove me to my family.
Yeah.
For real. Like, I'm the leader of my family. Even I'm nowhere near the oldest. But I'm a leader in my family. And that just took me doing what I need to do, explaining myself too, knowing that I don't have to explain myself, but I can be in detail explaining them.
And too, that whole thing, like, I don't need to explain myself to people, but at the end of the day, if you're doing something good and you're doing something that you're proud of, explain it to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know sometimes it's hard to explain to people, like, because you do everything, you know what I mean? But hey, sit there and talk about yourself, give yourself the credit, you know what I mean? Like, gash yourself, whatever. Because it's weird too to be like, oh, I do this and this, and like you don't want to feel like you're being egotistical or whatever. But no, you're giving yourself the props of like, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, sister, cousin, whatever. It's like, this is what I do. Yes. You know what I mean? I'm trying to create this stability for myself, but also you guys will benefit from it too. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. But this is what I do. I'm trying to create this for myself.
Yes.
You guys went and got a job, or you guys understand that, you know what I mean? But try to understand this. It's different, obviously, especially if you're let's say the first person that is like being a creative, either doing art or music or whatever in your family. So it is like, they're not going to get it.
Yeah.
But it's like, do they have a favorite musician? Do they have a favorite, entertainer?
Talk their language, y'all.
Like, I'm trying to just be like Drake, or I'm just trying to be like, whoever is your favorite entertainer, and you like to buy their merch, or you like to rock their stuff, and it's like, it's the same thing. Why can't your kid have that too, or your cousin or your niece? You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's crazy with these cycles. What cycle would you say you want to break in your family?
I think right now we're definitely the health, you know what I mean, being healthy. Cause too, like with this isn't like facts or anything, but what I've noticed is like with Asian people, we get like eczema and stuff. Cause obviously, like I say, we're not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? People migrated here. So like definitely health, and then like financial. Yeah. You know what I mean? Cause I'm a first generation. So my parents just, they just came over. So they obviously was just like save. But too, in Laos, that's how you, if you don't have the money to buy it, like full out 10 G's to buy land or whatever, you don't get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's learning that too. Yeah. And then like
understanding why.
Yeah, understanding why they're just like save. You know what I mean? Just save. And it's like, well, I wish I would have learned to invest. Yeah. Because I didn't save. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what are we saving for? You know what I mean? But it was always, that's just the way Laos people did it back there. You know what I mean? But obviously it's those little things. But I feel like that's like, it's so that we could get started. Yeah. You know what I mean? So your family could get started. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm first generation. So it's like, they didn't learn, they just came. Yeah. That was it. And it's kind of weird to think like you just came to a new land. Yeah. But then thank you to the Black people for having housing of it. You know what I mean? The state provided housing or like certain welfare, things like that, to where when my parents did come, they were able to get an apartment and then be on like food stamps or be on certain governmental help so that they could have something to even just step onto. You know what I mean? And then it's like, and then that compared to what they left, it's like they're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm good. This is good enough.
It's good
for
enough.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna get me a job, and then through it all is was the economy going bad, all that stuff. So like they did have like steady jobs, so they did have an income, and we became middle class.
Yeah.
Until the economy.
Yeah.
So it's like it when you compare it to what they left, you realize that is good for them.
Yeah.
They're comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now just to break some of them curses.
Now it's like, I don't want good enough. That's good enough. Yeah, cool. Like, yeah, if I could get a 9 to 5, but it's like you don't want that for yourself. You know what I mean? The 9 to 5 and like being in an office or like being in a warehouse. That's what my mom did. So it's like, do you really want that for yourself, or do you really just want to change the cycle and have better?
No, I see you and your sister.
Yeah.
Some of your cousins.
Yeah, and we're all first generation.
Yeah.
And me and my sister are the oldest. So it's like I have a 16-year-old cousin who is a first generation.
Yeah.
And to think, you think about that is like kind of weird, because supposedly America's so old, or you know what I mean, like type of thing.
Yeah.
Like you think like, oh, there's no first generation or whatever. Like people don't migrate here no more or whatever. But it's like when you think about it, it's like, dang, I'm 35, first generation, and I have cousins. My youngest cousin is 16, and we have age in between there, and they're all first generation.
Yeah, that's why I'm 5th, 6th generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like,
and the weight of America has been on you the whole time. Like all of the generation. That's why we talk about generations, and like it's all like it's all dependent on generations. And then it also dependent on how the people also, accept America. Like I said, my parents were cool with just what we have, you know what I mean? And it's like
because you can say some people, some countries don't do this.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that's one thing we know, that some countries don't do this, not one bit. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing to people like the civil rights movement to fight for not just theirs, but for everyone else's. You know what I mean? That's
civil rights are for people.
Yeah, all people. Yeah, and that's pretty much what Dr. Martin Luther King, everyone's fighting for. Like, rest in peace with John Lewis. You know what I mean? Cats like that. My great grandmother, Blanche Cobb, like,
one of the first women to vote. Like, she has the paperwork.
Yeah, her name is in the
like what is right there in a frame on the table that says, pretty much commemorating her being one of the first women to be able to vote.
Black women. She was in line.
Not just a first woman, but she was also a black woman that got to vote.
Got up and vote. She even in our family, our generation curses we've been trying to break is just health and mental health.
Yeah.
I think everything trickles down after that, like financially comes with that.
No, yeah, definitely.
Because we already spend within my family, we already spend within our community. You know what I mean? But ours always been mental health, emotional health.
Yeah.
That, like all of that. And I see that in my family slowly. The more I lose weight, the more my family go,
Of course.
The more they see me exercising, and go, more.
It's just like my family, you know what I mean? Like, we started working out.
Yeah, everyone
and then everybody, Renato was cool to let people go, and so we'd bring the family to go work out. And then, like, my cousin started just getting the gym membership. I had a cousin who already was doing the training stuff, but, like, she didn't even really influence too much. Yeah. But, it is what it is. But it's like, it's you... You're gonna influence your family no matter what.
We're the big people. Look, big people.
But that too.
Big people gonna make other people work out because they're like, if he's doing it.
Because my cousin, she's already little. Yeah. So she was like being a trainer, which all props to her. But then it's like, we started working out, and then like I didn't even notice how much weight I started losing until instead of them making like fun of me being fat, they were making fun of themselves being fat. And I'm like, well, I don't want nobody to make fun of anybody being fat. You know what I mean? Like, don't say that about yourself. You know, but it was like,
man.
But, you know, that's just that too is like. Yeah. How about not being negative to each other? Just give each other props.
And that's what we are breaking these. It starts, y'all, for the when you wake up, it's gonna be the most blessed. It's gonna be a blessing, and you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's so much work. You gotta be the bigger person all the time. You gotta be in control of your emotions. Because
you have to do you're gonna have to always be the one that does better. You gotta, like you said, control your emotions, be patient, you know, be the most open-minded, give people the benefit of the doubt, be considerate, like all that stuff.
Like it's
because you're aware.
You know better. You're aware.
Yeah.
Your awareness.
So somebody being dumb or ignorant, you're just like, they don't know better. You know what I mean? You give them that excuse. So now that you give yourself the badge of I know better, you can't even give yourself the excuse of I don't know better.
Yeah. You know, you can give them that work with facts and knowledge because they don't know better. Mm-hmm. It don't mean that you can't give them the smoke because you woken up. It just means that you might have to be a little more delicate, and you're gonna have to be way more what you're saying in it. You're gonna end up doing more. Like with my family, every time I get a call from my family, I already know that it might be negative, and I gotta brace myself for that. You know what I mean? Because they hit me up for some advice or something going on. And
well, they only call you when there's a problem and when they need somebody to take care of it.
Yeah, and
so that's why when that phone rings, it's an automatic of like, okay, what are we gonna have to get done?
Yeah.
And then that's it. And it's not there's no like arguing with, Granny or your mom about anything. Nothing. It's like, okay, what needs to get done?
That's it. And no matter what I got going on in my life.
No matter if we have to cancel our whole day to go do something, it's because we know better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know not to be negative and be angry and be mad and then start this argument within the family and then start, you know what I mean, and then all these other things.
I'm showing them unconditional love.
Yeah,
like I'm here for you.
But you still tell them like, you're gonna have to call me at least 24 hours in advance, not 5 hours in advance. Like you still gotta set some boundaries.
Yeah,
like you as being the bigger person, you still have to set boundaries.
I think that's what protects me, setting boundaries. Mm-hmm. And that's what helps me to help me get my point across to them. When I'm like, all right, I don't think we should be drinking this. I don't think we should be eating this. Granny, I don't think you should be doing that. Mm-hmm. Look, my grandma wasn't eating and drinking water. I go home, she eating and drinking water, and I'm looking at her. I said, grown woman. Mm-hmm. Grown, when I cuss, she said, "Oh, you cussing? You must be mad at me." I said, "Grown ass woman." And
then too, instead of her like saying, out of her own mouth of like, "Can you guys come more often?" And come, I would like you guys around more. We go and then we see these actions and then we decide we're gonna just keep going some more. You mean that's you being the bigger person?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say you could just ask me to come home more often. No, Granny. I think that helps break generation cycles. Mm-hmm. Just that one person in the family that's willing to be there emotionally, like spiritually.
Be positive, be courteous, be considerate,
smile.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like your family is human. You know what I mean? You don't know if you don't talk to them, you don't really know what they're going through. They could be stressing like how you're stressing during this time. Yeah. They don't know how to, especially too if they don't have a creative outlet or they don't have anything for themselves. They do just have that 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. People can't go work out right now. People can't do their leisure things right now. So it's like you have to see them too as like they could be going through some things, and like since we know better and we know how we would want them to treat us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then we got to do that for them.
And from learning what generation cycles we have to break, what we got to attack, we learn that our family, our parents are human.
Yep.
Well, that's one thing we learned. I learned my grandmother is superhuman. Yeah. She feels a lot. She loves a lot. People break her heart. At first, I used to think you can't break her heart. You can't do none of that. Nah. And her heart is so fragile. You know, this is a black woman that grew up in some harsh times. Yeah. And my grandmother is very, very, for how tough she is, she's just as fragile. Mm-hmm. And when I learned that, me and her had one of the best relationships. Everyone else don't have a me and her relationship because they don't see Granny as human. Yeah. It's like, it's Granny.
Like, she don't feel nothing. Yeah. She's just mean. Yeah. She's just out to get me type of thing. And it's like,
she just yells at me. I'm like, but are you listening to what she's yelling at you about?
That too. That too.
Are you listening to what she's yelling about? Or are you listening to, and I don't know, but you know, her times is different. I think when I put myself in her time,
oh yeah,
she was raised in.
You're putting yourself in other people's shoes.
When I put myself in my mama's shoes, I found forgiveness. I found love. I found her humanity. Because I just thought she was just this woman that threw me to the wolves and forgotten. And that to this day, it still feel like that. You know what I mean? But I realized that she was a human going through stuff. She was going through everything that I can possibly go through. She went through it too. Yeah. As a teenager, and as a black woman, it was worse because as a black man, I was able to protect myself, and as a big black man, no one really fucking with me. Yeah. But as my mama being a black woman, she was always getting tested. She was always getting approached with nastiness from all types of men. Yeah. You know what I mean? This society. She being in jail. She lost a baby in jail. Yeah. She lost a baby in jail from one of the fucking guards hitting her with an iron. And she fell to the ground and lost the baby in prison. You know what I mean?
And you have to take those things into account.
I took all of that, and realized how human my mom is, how human my granny is. Even I never met my father. I think as a kid, maybe I had a glance at that motherfucker. But I know he got deported. I know he went through some shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Once I start realizing these things. Yeah. Shout out to psychedelics and peyote and a lot of things I've done in my life to help me even get to these journeys, to put myself in their shoes or where they're at, to even understand, like, yeah. And I don't know, that helped me so much with people. Like, if I can understand this about my family, it would be a little easier for me to understand this about people, you know.
It's you learn to like you said, just put yourself in other people's shoes. So like take what they're going through into consideration, or what they could be going through into consideration. You know what I mean? And it's hard for people because at the end of the day, we're not purposely selfish. Yeah. You're in your own bubble.
Yeah, that's humankind too.
Yeah, that's just human. Like you're in your own bubble. You have your own things that you worry about, and that's why it's like you have to be like, if this is how I am, other people could be like this too. Yeah. That there's just focus on what they're doing. You know what I mean? We're trying to get things together, trying to figure out what we want to do. You know what I mean? You have to realize that, well, our mom and our dad could be going through the same thing. You know what I mean? And you're definitely gonna find answers when you step into other people's shoes. That's automatic.
Just imagine, like, you, a 16-year-old, go to his mom and like, Mom, I know you going through this and going through this and doing this, and you working and doing all of this, and you just want to say, I love you. Yeah. You know, just little like that will soften the hardness you probably see on your parents, and you can let them know that you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that they're like they're going through something.
Yes.
It's really like, I see you.
I see you.
It's one of those things like, I see you. I see what you're struggling with, or I see that you're struggling, or I see that things are hard, and I'm acknowledging it and letting you know that you're good.
Cause I'm gonna tell y'all something. I realized parents, it's a term for anybody. You don't. To me, like, I had to become a parent for my grandmother. Cause my grandma making sure that I'm taken care of. Yeah. And I got to make sure that my granny's taken care of. In the same way, in the same sense of even mentally, like, granny, you good? You know, she want to go to the store. She want to go to the mall. She want to, like, these little things. I think that has to happen in the household to understand both sides. Cause the parents like, I got to take care of you.
Yeah. And if we, I don't know what like the official definition of parent is, but let's say the definition of a parent is somebody that takes care of you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you said, I'm a parent, I'm going to take care of you. So if they're parenting people or, you know, they're parenting you, then they don't realize to parent themselves. You know what I mean? They, especially mothers or fathers who like they work and they have to take care of the household. They don't have anything leisure things for themselves or things that they do for themselves. So like if you just think about it, like, you know, you like to go play video games or you like to go running or whatever to clear your mind, but if your parents don't have anything like that, what, like, you know what I mean? Why how are they gonna have an outlet?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, why? Yeah, they're gonna always be on you. You know what I mean? They're always gonna be on you and making trying to parent you. You know what I mean? Because they don't have nobody that is looking out for them and taking care of them and making sure, like, you know, you've been working so much. Why don't you go play or something? You know what I mean? Like one of those things where it's like your parent is like, maybe they see that you're stressed out and they'll tell you to go do something leisure.
Yeah, they will see you do, like, you have to do the same thing for your parents. It's the same. It's I don't know, like, say in a black any household, but minority household, getting a job was like unconditional love because you're helping to pay bills.
No, yeah. And I feel like in minority it's if you can help pay bills and you can help give money now, it's an accomplishment. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's obviously a weight off of your parents' shoulders, and like, you know, it's understandable.
Yeah, it just, you know, it's a love. There's a love language for parents. Yeah. They gotta have it. Going to have to. Of course, you gotta, because to understand that, even that disconnect to where some people feel like we're talking about parents are humans, because some people feel like their parents isn't human. Their parents is robotic. Their parents are just as one mode. And
I'm sure too, with like everything going on, where their parents, you might be having some parents that are just very robotic, of saying robotic things that the media has shown them, or like, you know, like they don't know that they're being influenced by the media. Yeah, like they're not woke, so they're not gonna know. They're just gonna, they assume that you know, it's the media, so the media is gonna tell us what's right. Yeah, you know, they assume these things. The government is the government.
Have our best interest.
Yeah, they're gonna have our best interest and things like this. And it's like they don't understand what the protest is really about, and they don't understand these other things. So it's like you're gonna have to explain to them.
Yeah, in some form of way, and it might become an argument. You know, and that's human too. Yeah, because it's like they're going against beliefs or what they believe in, and you telling them what they believe in is wrong. Yeah. Their child, they're 14, 15, 16, 17.
Somebody who hasn't been on this earth longer than them.
You need to see out of grown folks' business what they really thinking, but they don't realize that you having access to internet actually will put you in the lead to gaining way more knowledge than they can process in their lifetime. Yeah. Definitely. Especially if they're like 50 years old. It's like the knowledge that you gain from the internet is ridiculous. So it's understanding that too, people. Like, your parents went through time. My grandmother, she asking me what's going on. And I'm telling her what's going on. And she telling me the news ain't showing that. Yeah. She telling me what the news is showing. Yeah. And I'm telling her she believes her grandson over the news. Yeah. That's the relationship I built with my grandmother, and I'm telling her what's going on.
And it's crazy because, like, my mom won't believe it's funny because I'm like, I tell my mom things and like she'll believe it. Yeah. Like, what, you know what I mean? But then to me, I'm like, you have to kind of figure things out for yourself too. Yeah. But obviously she's older, and then you have to take everything into account of like how she grew up, and it's like she trusts in the government, or she trusts in these things that are supposed to have your better interest. So you as the child, you know what I mean, you got to let them know, even if they're not gonna like they don't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like how you said, it's like this is adult things that you don't know nothing about, but it's like, but this keeps coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure like when the 92 riots, my mom probably didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
She didn't really understand like what was going on. So I explained it to her, and then now she understands. And so it's like, well, it happened in 92 and it keeps happening. So it's like, so y'all didn't take care of it. So that's why we keep having
it's crazy. Like your mom was like, oh, like, yeah, it's sad.
And it's not even that. It's not like the situations aren't difficult to understand.
Yeah.
You have to understand it and then figure out, like you said, a language to tell them, and they will understand it.
Yeah. Because that's why my grandmother made me understand what the 92 riots and Rodney King. But I was kind of already aware of what was going on. Shit, I was 4 or 5 years old first time me seeing police get beat. Before I seen police beat
somebody.
Yeah, first time I seen the police beat someone.
Mm-hmm.
I was 9 years old when a gun was pulled out on me from the police, and the police pulled out a gun on my homie. So it's like me being aware already was like, oh, this is happening because, oh, that happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, and I seen that happen.
Yeah.
And
it happened to you. You know how it felt. You know the situation, the experience. You didn't like it, and now it happened to somebody else, and now everybody is backing that person up.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone was backing me up.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, I know how that feels.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fight for that person too, because I wanted somebody to fight for me.
And man, that's what this protest is, y'all. Like, all of this. And some parents just got to understand that, like, you're fighting, you helping people fight for their lives that they've been fighting for.
Yeah.
And that's hard to come. And you're their child. They don't want to see their child in danger.
No, yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, your parents are human.
You can hit them with the, I'm your child. You raised me right,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's a lot. That's the one I hit my granny with. I said, I'm supposed to be the better version of you, right, Granny? If you raised me right, I'm supposed to be Willie Dale 5.0.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be you with new attributes.
Yeah.
New wisdom.
You should have started with better tools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole breaking the family cycle, is so that you could create better tools for your lineage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm everything that we learn that we wish we had learned, you know what I mean, earlier, now we could pass it on to our kids.
Man.
Or even cousins or siblings or whoever, you know what I mean? And it's like, they're tough conversations, but it's like, things are different. We've never had these conversations, or we don't talk about these things, or we don't make it a point in the family to, talk about mental health, or come together and be like, how's everybody doing with everything going on? You know what I mean? Or instead of just like everybody being mad, or you're not mad. You're just like frustrated.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
What tool you think your mom or your family have giving you? We know what cycles we need to break. Mm-hmm. And that's from health, mentally, financially, spiritually, community. Mm-hmm. Like, we know there's some cycles that we have to break. What tool you think she's giving you to even help that? She probably don't even know that she gave you this tool.
Very considerate.
Yes,
you have to be considerate to, like I said, to put yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah, she goes to the temple. She's not just a helper for the family. She's a helper for the community.
Yeah.
She helped the monks out.
Yeah.
When someone dies, they
have at the temple they have a system where you could be a member of, and you pay to, whenever somebody dies, everybody pitches in, I think, like $5. So like all the members pitch in $5, then that money goes to help the family. So, and then when you pass away, then people pitch in $5 and your family gets the money or whatever. So she helps organize that. But it's just you being considerate.
What you just said, y'all, listen. What Lisa just said is a tool that I equipped it myself with for my family and my community. Like, we don't have that in a community. When someone passes away, everyone pitches in, so no one really had to pay for the funeral.
Yeah. It's like how GoFund.
Yeah, GoFund.
Yeah, GoFundMe's are and stuff, but it's more just these collective
in a community.
It's more tight knit. But it is like the whole concept of like everybody coming together. It's just $5, and like, you know, enough people will help cover something.
I got a lot of tools from the Asian community that I know is going to help my family, help the family we start.
But I think it's more of like because these are a group of minorities that came over here for a better life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Latin people, Asian people, you know, obviously Black people, they were brought over here. So that's where the tight-knit community comes from, of like, we all immigrated here, you know what I mean, after the Vietnam War, and even though I didn't know you in Laos, I'm gonna be cool with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then same thing as for the Latin people or any other minority that came over here. That's why you see like Chinatown, or you see like little city,
we didn't
like
have
little towns.
We had the opportunity. We did it every time we did. Yeah. Every time Black people did come together, it got disbanded. We got killed. Or in some way,
Black people have done it. It just didn't last because you know who came.
Look, Manhattan Beach, Bruce Beach. Yeah. It was named Bruce Beach. Black people owned it.
Yeah.
They didn't like that these Black people were making resort for Black people. So
putting Black people in good positions, getting property, homes, everything.
Manhattan Beach right now, the most infamous, famous, flourish, prospering land. It was all Black owned, and because white people didn't like it, they went and KKK went and ransacked it.
Yeah,
made them flood it, took it over, and just a couple of years back, I think probably 5 or 6 years later back from this to this day, they decided to let people know about that history and rename the beach to Bruce Beach.
Or put a little sign over
there. So it's like,
Yeah.
give the people back their land back. But back to it, I learned that from your family, from your community, of more tools. Because that's what I'm with now. I'm trying to quit more tools.
Yeah.
To where, you know, with my family, ain't too many tools my family passed down. But I say my grandmother, optimistic.
Yeah.
That's been a great tool for me. Is she never made me feel some type of way about what I'm doing. As long as I was making money and making something for myself and doing good for myself and for the people I'm doing it with.
Yeah.
She makes sure that what she say, make sure you ain't using nobody and make sure you ain't being misused. Yeah. That's her slogan. Use nobody and make sure you're not being used. Yeah. And I don't know. My grandma dropped me these. My grandma hit me with a lot of knowledge that became tools. No, you know what I mean?
It's all in your music.
Yeah, it's all in my music. But
I've learned a lot, like from your grandmother. I've obviously learned a whole lot.
Yeah, that's all my grandmother was able to do is bless me with gems.
Yeah.
Put some in action.
Yeah.
For experience that I've been in, how to be a Black man. You know what I mean? Like, she taught me how to be a Black man in America. It taught me how to treat Black women in America. Taught me how to treat women with respect. Make sure that whatever I was doing fun, it was educational. You know, that's one thing she did. Even when I play sports, she was like, it don't matter, you don't play. It don't matter if you don't score. Hustle.
Yeah.
She said, I don't care if you got 0 points, 0 rebounds, all of that, but you better run up and down that court. You better be sweating. That's one thing she always did. No matter do my all. No matter. It's not about the stat sheet. It's about, because even in me playing basketball, I hustle every game to a point to where they start passing me the ball.
Yeah.
They start passing me the ball. Like, Jamie gonna hustle. He gonna do it. You hear his grandma? You hear his granny? He gonna and man, every time I got the ball, I scored.
Yeah.
And I think that's because that tool of my grandmother, hustle. And hustle, not hustling for money, but hustle for goodness, hustle to be better.
It's like you said, your stats. Like, what is your, not the team stats. Yeah. You know what I mean? What does your stats say?
Yes.
Because a team could be freaking the suckiest team ever, but that team has a good player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's somebody in that team that is a number one, even if that team is a number, you know what I mean?
Number
whatever.
1,000.
But definitely, like, you know, I feel like too, it all just comes generational of like your family. Like, I wish my family was like hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I said, getting a 9-to-5, you know, getting a good stable job, saving money, and having a home, like that's good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's what are we doing? We're breaking cycles. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what they give us. You know what I mean? Like the that's given. Yeah. You could get a 9-to-5. You know what I mean? You could get a 9-to-5. It's freaking hard. It's shit. Even now, who knows if your income's gonna be enough? But you'll get a home, or you know.
And they want people to be in homes.
They want to get people.
They would give you a loan for a home before they give you a loan for a business.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we're learning, or I'm learning, like, yeah, that's good enough. And of course it's understandable why it's good enough, but we could all have better.
Yeah.
And then that's on to you, because there are some people that do like their 9-to-5. They like that structure, you know what I mean? But we're talking to creatives, and we're talking about creatives, and it's like, you want better for yourself, you could have better for yourself. It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
Of course.
Hey, shout out to the parents that do their best with
Encourage.
this. Encourage. You know, write down what tools that your family leaving you mentally, financially, spiritually. There's some things I write it down in my music, y'all. This is how I know what tools.
Yeah.
You know, but it's things I do think about, like, hey, what tool am I'm equipped with to help me prosper in life, and not just musically, like everything. You know what I mean? And that's important. And it's important to understand that your parents, your family, your friend, all of them are human.
Yeah.
They're going to make mistakes. They're going to say stuff that you do not agree with, even morally, how they're saying it.
Yeah.
It's all as we're going to have a racist family member. I got a homie that just found out his family is racist, and he's broken about it. You know what I mean? And he don't know how to go about it, and he don't want to stop loving that person.
Yeah.
Because that's your family. You know what I mean? And it just, I don't know, be there when they come around. Maybe send them little information, about what's going on.
It's all situational, because there's some people that you could probably talk to and find out where's that hurt coming from. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then, like how we said earlier, is people will feel attacked. Like, I'm not hurt. Nobody did something to me.
I hurt
you. Know what I mean? I'm good. It's like, okay, but you're racist. Like, you're good, but you're racist.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? But
it's wild, man.
You pick and choose your battles, but at the end of the day, make the decision, stand your ground, and don't be apologetically you. Unapologetically.
Yes, hopefully.
Create fearlessly. Yes. Be creative with your creativity.
all of that, man. Things. Hopefully these talks help y'all. It's helping us. Stay.
And too, with like how you're saying, like, what tools your family has given you. Figure out what tools you want to sharpen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like we say right now, it's I feel like right now everybody's very open with like helping with mental health. Yeah. There's people that are very like open with like helping with financial help and like all those things, because we know the times that we're in right now. So it's take advantage of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Advantage.
Somebody posts up a flyer of like, come to my Zoom meeting for mental health. Join. Why not? You know what I mean? You if you can join, sit in. You most likely don't have to like say anything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At least introduce yourself or whatever, but just sit in on it and see how it goes, and definitely try new things right now. Definitely.
Man, this is, and all look, creatives, stay on your creative mental health right now. So look at us. Look at our merchandise. Stickers, shirts, masks, edibles, fanny packs, bags. Shout out to the sponsors for the trays. You know, like we stay creating, we stay what we've been doing. You know, we're not gonna switch up in this sense where we're gonna stay with what we're doing and just making it better. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you want to purchase any of these things,
definitely
head over to bricktoyourface.bigcartel.com or noahjames.net.
Or just DM me.
Yeah, hit up Lisa.
Whatever is most convenient for you.
hit us up. Hit us up. You need some edibles, hit us up.
Yep.
Know what we do. If you need your podcast, you need your media, you need recording, you need beats.
Everything.
You want to learn how to make beats. You want to do all that, hit up Productive Culture.
Productive Culture.
Hit them up. They got what you need, baby.
They help us with the Pod Live.
Essential
Saturdays.
The podcast, what
streaming,
you need. Everything. Hit up Brick to Your Face. If you need some promotion, you're an artist, hit us up. You know, we don't charge ridiculous. It's fit your budget.
Yeah. Whatever.
Blessings. Hey, if you need some coffee, hit up my brother Calligraphy and Reverse Orangutan.
That's right.
That name is crazy. Reverse Orangutan.
That's right.
He would do something like that. Shout out to Stone Dar and the Minks.
Definitely.
For the edibles.
Boo bars. Get your boo bars.
Shout out to California. What's Golden Goddess?
Yeah.
Golden State Goddess for doing our merchandise.
Our tie-dye for us.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's
that Nug Life 2020.
It's very, very majestic, man. And yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Y'all have
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, y'all have a blessed year.
2020 vision.
Yeah, 2020. Peace.